Hi guys, welcome back to Hither Green TMD in O-Gauge, and the postman has been, at least my postman slaters. So I now have some 3-hole disc wheels for my MM1 models TTA tank wagon. I'm replacing the wheels on the yob crane. The ones that came with the kit were, I suppose they were functional and were okay, but the axle's not exactly thin, and seeing as I have things in planning for doing with it, I've gone for some Slater wheels without the holes in, because the crane shouldn't have holes in the wheels, but the wheels with the kit came as a 3-hole type, and some vacuum hoses. Comes with lamp brackets as well, so I didn't have to make any for the grampus, but there we go. I didn't know that at the time. It was just vacuum hoses and hose pipes. So we got those, we can get on with that, and we have the Oleo wagon buffers, which will be going on the grampus wagon. And what I'm also considering is, if I file the base plates down to a square and fit dummy bolts, I could actually fit them on the Daypole 09 to start to move that project along. So I'll probably get another set of these. Yeah, should be close enough for what I want for that. So, postman, hooray! So we can start to continue to move some of the projects along at least. Other things, I would get the grampus. This is where we are with the grampus now. So it is all painted, green and rust, and also a coat of gloss varnish ready for the transfers. I'm currently waiting for Steve Bell at Railtech, but he's snowed under at the minute, so when the transfers arrive I will get on with it. But you can see all the detail there that I'll put in the vacuum brake system, because being the Parkside Dundas kit is only unfitted wagon, so I've had to work some photos and get as close as practical to make this kit the wagon I need it to be. The vacuum brake cylinder being MM1 models, and the crossbars here, cross beams, brake hangers. They call MM1 calls these the brake hangers, but they're not. The bits that drop down with the brakes hanging off, that's the brake hangers. But anyway, they're also MM1 white metal bits, but all the rest of the brake linkage is scratch built from plasticard, strut stuff, and the hoops, safety hoops for the brake rigging there is all made from welding wire, 0.6mm welding wire, and they've come out really nice. I'm happy with. There's sufficient detail for that on sort of standoff. Obviously it's not the complete brake rigging, but from the standoff point of view, it's everything that I need there to be on the wagon. So that's where that is, just waiting for transfers. The other thing that I have achieved is on my Class 60s. I've now repainted the body sides with the correct shades of rail match grey instead of the Heljan ones. There's quite a difference between the shades that Heljan used, and it's worth going to the effort to blow it over and also widen the black band around the windscreens. It was too thin. They'd only painted the window frame, but also part of the real thing. The body side also had a strip of black, which made the black deeper, which moves the grey down, so hopefully the transfers will fit better. And that is the actual main subject of this video, is we're going to start fitting the transfers. I've put a slim coat of gloss varnish in the areas where the transfers are going to fit on the loco, because you always get a better seal and stick if it's a smooth glossy surface rather than the matte. Water slide transfers tend to give you a silvery finish if there's air underneath, and we don't want that to show through. We want to lose as much as possible the carrier film. I also have the nameplates here from Fox Transfers, the Hither Green Depot shed plaques, of course the BR arrows, and the sector logos, and the white sheet that goes underneath. That is to reduce the transparency of the transfer. Because you're going on two different colours, greys here, you'll get it showing through the transfer. You get some bleed through. So the Fox transfers come with a white transfer that you put on first, and then you put the sector transfer over the top, and then with a very sharp scalpel blade you trim the white from where it sticks out around the edge, because it's slightly larger than the transfer. So that is the subject of this video. You're in a slightly different angle to normal because I have bought a very cheap plastic tripod thing from eBay. So we'll just see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, then I'll start strapping you back up on the normal camera tripod. Hopefully it will get a slightly closer view of what we're doing instead of being over my shoulder. So we'll take it further. I'll get all set up ready and we'll apply a few transfers. Okay, so now I'm prepared. I have a small plate there with some water in it and a couple of drips of washing up liquid, my sharp scalpel, cocktail stick to assist in manoeuvring the transfers around on the surface, a cotton bud to help to remove the water from underneath the transfer once it's in position, a brush in case I need to add a bit of, if it's not quite in the right place and it's getting too sticky, just to touch it with a bit of water to help to free it, to adjust it slightly before sticking it down, some tissue paper to blot it once it's on, and scissors for cutting the transfers out. Working from photographs, this first transfer here which I'm going to be doing is the backing colour of the white is up against the door frame from level with the grey. So first off, with a bit of tissue, I'm just using, because it's slightly soapy water, just clean to make sure there's no dirt or anything stuck on where the transfer is going to go on. Cut out just the transfer I want. And then drip the transfer in the water. Now it has to soak in the water until it's starting to release freely. You don't want to force it off because you'll stretch and tear it. But obviously you don't want to leave it in there for too long because it will soak all the glue off. So it's just on that point where it is starting to move freely on the paper. And that is also handy where the cocktail stick, because you can just touch it and test, see if it's starting to move. It's been in about 40 seconds. So hopefully it should be about ready to, yep, it's just starting to slide on the backing film. There we go, that's released it. So what we need to do now is just gently, I use a cocktail stick here, just gently hold it up to where I want it, hold it on and then slide the backing film. And then just gently stroking it, get it in position where I want it to be. And then with the cotton bud, just carefully, gently rub it so that the water that is underneath is squeezed out. You don't want to scrub it, but just gently stroke it towards the edge. It's obviously too long. The transfer on the loco will only go to the bottom of the door, so I'm going to just quickly with my knife, tripod's in the way, just take some of that off and then try not to cut myself. Move that out of the way, cocktail stick again, ease that back into position. It doesn't want to move, you can put a splash of water there, stroke it with the brush. This is still going to get another trim. This is just to make a bit of room. We don't need it all down the bottom, and helps to demonstrate what we're doing, and I can't find where I've put the cotton bud. Now that it's back in position, just stroke that gently and leave to dry. That's going to be there a little while before we put the other transfer on. So I'm going to now make a bit more room here again, so if I can get this end into a position where you can see. The next transfer is for the back of the sector logo, which is going in this area here. You have to look at a 60 because they aren't the same position on both sides. In this case, with the end without the second vent, the top of the logo starts here by the exhaust to there, and then you have the sector logo there. The other side is slightly different, but I'm just going to reposition my tissue paper here so that I can bring it further into shot. Okay, so again I'm going to clean and slightly moisten the area where I want the transfer to lay, just to make sure there's no fingerprints, no bits of fluff or anything like that laying on the surface, because I need it to lay perfectly flat. This has been in here again about 40 seconds. I'll just test it gently with the thumb, see if it's starting to move. It's a big transfer, so you have to be, there we go, just one side is released. That's it. So you have to get the square round the right way. We are up here, and again with the cocktail stick, just a slot on that. I'm going to use my thumb or finger, get it to the edge of the paper, slide it off the edge, and ease. Just slide it along because we're stuck. That's the trouble with these big transfers, is they do grip. We'll slide it along to where we want it, roughly. Oh, it's all moved. That's fine, because what we'll do now is we'll just get some water and we'll just run it underneath. We'll suck it up and suck the water. But again, this is just a sheet for we're sticking. Now I don't want to tear it. There we go. Lots of creases to get out into it. But again, we'll just add some more water. You need water underneath it. Lots of water. more water underneath is, the easier it will slide and settle back down again. So we'll get this all wet, and hopefully we're sort of nearly where we want it to be. So we'll straighten that out there. That's better. Now it's sliding. So we now have it where we want. So we've got the grey matching in this edge here, and the back corner there. Like I say, the sector logo will lay over the top, and we can then get it exactly trimmed afterwards. And then we're just gently moving from the centre out, squeeze the water out from underneath the transfer in all directions, and the transfer will stay then stuck. I'd say this is an issue that you get with big transfers. Smaller transfers are easier. You need to make sure there's no air bubbles. But you can see the different shades between the top off, and that would show through on the, mainly the yellow on the sector logo. So we'll just squeeze the air out gently, not rubbing hard, just a gentle stroking until it's all flat. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, that's all stuck down. So what I'm going to do now, carefully, hopefully it won't peel, just draw the knife along the seam, just to cut the film there. Reposition it. And then with the cotton bud, just dress it back out. And there we have it, because it goes up onto the roof panels, which are separate. So I find it better to trim it over the... And there we are. So we'll now leave that one to dry as well. And we'll come back later and we'll put the sector logos on. But you know, that's the demonstration of why you have the white panel on first. Okay, so what we're going to do now is fit the nameplate. I've cut out the nameplate from the etching. If it was a plastic thing, you'd call it the sprue, but it's not. And I've also, with a bit of very fine sandpaper, just keyed slightly the back to give the glue something to adhere to. Now, to fit this on with glue, I'm using super glue. You can't get it lined up properly because your fingers and thumbs are in the way. So what I will be doing is using a cocktail stick. I shall stick it on the front with a bit of blue tack so that you can use then hold this end of the cocktail stick to line it up to get it to where you want it before you actually touch it to the plastic and the super glue grabs. That's the plan. So somewhere here is my blue tack. Obviously once the super glue has grabbed, then you can remove the cocktail stick at the front, and the nameplate should be where you want it. So it's literally just put a small bit of blue tack on the front because it does no damage at all. Stick the cocktail stick in it and then you can so much easier line it up where you want it to go and stick it down. Now the nameplate needs to be as close as is possible. The centre between the doors and the radiator, not the radiator, it's the, well, it is the radiator compartment, and level with the two grey lines. That's where we're going to try and get it. So now that's clean, I'm just going to use a bit of thinners on the end of my upper cotton end of the cotton bud. Just to make sure it is clean and there's no dirt. The thinners will evaporate away. Leave that clean. What I haven't done on this one is put any varnish there because I want the glue to stick to the surface. So super glue next. That is in this drawer. I don't want much at all on here. I just need a tiny drip. Just a tiny drip of super glue. And using another cocktail stick, I'm going to just spread that around so it's a really thin coat. I'm not going to take it all the way to the edge. I'll let that happen when it settles on the... So I'll lose that cocktail stick so I don't accidentally use it for something else. The centre is there and the line is there. And we'll just leave that for a moment or two to grab, and that is how I fit my nameplates where I want them. So now that's grabbed. Peel off cocktail stick, remove the blue tack, and there we have steadfast nameplate in exactly the right position and nice and straight. Okay, so the next bit is the shed plate. Here I have it, but lining it up roughly will be about, judging by the photo, the corner is just below there, so there is where it's got to go. Again, the cocktail stick, a bit of blue tack so you can get in, you can twist it around and line it up to where you want it. So again, just one tiny spot of super glue is all that is needed. One spot right in the middle, and my super gluey cocktail stick. Because I'm going to need a tiny bit more because I don't want it's squeezing out the edge too far. So again, we'll just quickly spread that out, do it easier up here than down there. So it's all around the edge. And so trying to get this straight is fun. So we're about just below there, we are straight there. There. That looks straight. So again, peel that off. And there we have it. It's on straight. It's on the location where it needs to be. As close as we're going to get on a model. Beautiful. And now what we'll do is we'll stick the blue one so I can close out this video and get on and do the others on another part. So this will be part 1. This is just the first demonstration, and then I'll show you afterwards doing the other bits once everything is ready and dry. Okay, so the transfer is releasing itself from the backing paper. I'll just put a little drip of water on there to help it slide over the under transfer. And just lay that on top and slide the backing out from underneath. As you can see, the transfer is a different size. It's slightly smaller than the other transfer that was come with it, so we'll just get that in position nice and straight. Just where we want it, and the backing film makes the colours pop out nicely. And holding one end with the cocktail stick, just squeeze out a little bit of that water, just so it doesn't move around quite so much. So now I have it where I want it. So we will be going around this with a very sharp scalpel. I'll put a fresh blade on for that. And trim the transfer down. But that's not a job for today, that's for later on. So just blot it out. It's moved. Still got enough moisture under there just to bring it back. And that's it. We'll just leave that to dry. So we'll come back, I'll probably come back tomorrow to finish this off because I've got work today, a little overtime shift. So I'm not going to get everything done I want to do today, but considering we've got flights back to the UK to pay for, a little bit of extra money is always helpful. There we go. That's it. So now we have nameplates applied, shed plates applied. We've got the first coloured logo on it, and we'll come back and do some more later. I'll do the blanks on the other side, so we're ready for the main transfers tomorrow. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If not, don't worry. And we'll catch you next time. See you later.